So yeah, the idea is to gather on the beaches around Britain, selected beaches around Britain, and come together as a community and draw a picture in the sand of one of the many people who lost their lives travelling across these waters, and we will also read aloud in some fashion, dictated by the individual communities. It's not set by us. A poem by Caroline Duffrey, which has been commissioned to commemorate this occasion. It will be on the back of a portrait of one of the people who gave their lives, and is perhaps somebody that you draw from the local community. So it's a community driven, as much as is possible. It's originated from here, but it's then community driven what the occasion will amount to. If we have a glorious day like this, there may even be people swimming. If it's not quite so glorious, we'll be huddled round impromptu fires perhaps, yeah. And I think there's something about poetry and imagining those people writing those poems. And of course they were the first embedded journalists that were ever conceived of, who wrote the truth about the condition of war, rather than the belief that this was the good fight locally. So this gentleman is from my hometown of Ratcliffe in Manchester. And he was born and lived on the same street that I went to school. Obviously, a long time before me. But that felt me real connection with him. He's called Walter Bleakley, and I wanted people to be able to have a portrait like that on the day. It'll be, some of them will be on a card like this with Caroline Duffy's poem printed on the back. But people could bring their own portraits as well. But it's felt like a wonderful place to gather and to pay some kind of respect, which can be joyful or solemn, depending on what interests individual communities. But a tribute to the people who left from these very beaches themselves over 100 years ago, and so few of whom returned, really. And the 100th anniversary of the armistice initially, to me, felt like an opportunity to say a final goodbye. And it may well be that we decide it is a final goodbye and that we don't commemorate the First World War anymore. Because at some point we'll have to stop, because, we don't commemorate the Napoleonic Wars or the Boer War or anything like that. But maybe we won't, and my mind has been changed by doing the research in this project, and I think we probably should keep celebrating their sacrifice. But in terms of this beach, Wilfred Owen swam here the day before he left for France, and he never returned. Thankfully his poems did, but and that's extraordinary to stand here and think, well, he stood here, it's not changed, it'll have been exactly the same. And that connects you somehow with them, really, and renews makes them alive, really, in a way that you can say an honest thank you to them, really, to all those people. Experience whatsoever of travel across that barrier, sail to the unknown, really, in a way.
One in here, please, Danny. And one here, please, Danny. Thank you.
I didn't want to sign it because it should be like this. I dropped the head back here.